So, in today's video, we're going to give you 6 hard truths to know about life. I have my little handy dandy flashcard here, but these 6 hard truths will go a long way. Excuse the microphone, there might be some noise pollution. But, anyways, this is YouTube, so um, that's the point of doing it. But let's go ahead and dig in on 6 hard truths to know about life. And the reason I do it sitting down in this natural environment is because I love nature. And it's kind of windy, so hang in there. But let's get there. So the first rule is life is 100% better when no one knows anything about you. Now, why is this? Because you don't need other people's opinions to tell you who you are, right? That's a hard truth that you don't understand, especially when you're in middle school, high school, college, just trying to find your identity. The thing is, who cares about what other people think about you, right? You create your life. You are in charge. You are somebody, right? You're kind of this art being made in the progress. And I don't know how else to put it, but life is 100% better when no one knows anything about you, right? Because once they figure things out about you, they use them against you, right? And because now they think they know you and they know how to push your buttons and just anything in general. So it's always 100% better when people don't know what you're doing, right? Just actions are louder than words. So you don't have to tell everybody your business. You could just show them, right? If you're going to buy a house, don't let 300 people know, hey, I'm in the process of buying a house. Just buy the house, right? Because that action will speak louder than words. Or if you tell somebody, I'm going to be a doctor, right? If they do mention stuff, go ahead. Don't be antisocial. But yeah, don't, people don't care about what you're doing. People are pretty selfish at how they see life and what they're, they care about their life more than your life. But in the end, they will have an opinion of you. And don't let that affect you in your movement, in your progress, in the way you just, you know, live life. But yeah, it's better to not let people know all your dark secrets. Not that they're dark, but just secrets in general. Because one, people don't care. And then the other percentage of people, they just want to see you fail. And that's it. So, in the end, to reemphasize rule number one, life is 100% better when no one knows anything about you. So, let's go to the second hard truth. You shouldn't take advice from people who are not where you want to be in life. Man, this rule is superb. I think a lot of people um, just forget about this rule. Um, they always say listen to your parents or listen to your elders, and I have all respect for everybody that listens to their parents and stuff like that. A lot of them can do guidance, but your mom or your dad doesn't know how to run a business if you want to be a business owner, or if you want to be a doctor, and your dad is in construction, or something with labor. How does he know what it is to be a doctor? And not to just pick on parents, just anybody in general, right? Because a lot of people will think and kind of think for you and just give you guidance, or supposedly guidance, but just giving opinion, right? Like, oh, don't do that. That doesn't sound good. And then the first question you could just ask them again is, well, have you done it? You know, and they'll tell you no, or sometimes they'll just shut them up. So rule number two is pretty simple, but it's a very good one, which is don't take advice from people who are not where you want to be in life. Go talk to those people that have done it already, right? Pick their brain, get their wisdom, get their knowledge, and that's how this life works, right? You have It's like somebody else has lived your life already. You just got to find that person and pick the brain. And then you can make the decision whether you want to continue your journey or switch careers, right? Because it might sound good from the outside in, but then you realize what it is, and it'll just turn around. You'll just turn around, and that's okay. That's how life works, right? Because I've met some older people that have worked somewhere for 20 plus years, and they don't want to leave because the amount of time they've invested in it, and 401ks and all this gravy stuff, but they're miserable. They're miserable in life, and they hate that they didn't follow their dream. So let's move on to rule number 3. Here we go. uh, Everyone will show you who they are. You just have to give them time. mm, this is true, right? When you're dating, when you're actually just meeting strangers, um, it's okay. It's all a pony show. Sometimes they're doing it to get something in return. And don't get me wrong, right? I'm not here to say the world is bad. There are good people out there that genuinely want to help you and want to help you succeed, just like this channel. But yeah, don't it's one of those things that you give people time, and that front or that fakeness will only last so long. Because just to give you an example, if you date a girl, boy, they're gonna act a certain way, right? You're gonna think of them a certain way, and it's all good until you're in the relationship. And when I say in the relationship, maybe a few months, years, people change, right? They sort of live together. They find out how they really are, um, and that's why just be cautious, because with time it sort of reveals itself. And don't jump into something without fully testing it, right? That's the rule behind everything. But with time, everyone will show you their colors, right? Because the ultra nice guy or girl will soon show you their other side. Or that 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 upfront stuff, it doesn't last long, right? And that's why when I started dating, or I was very upfront. I've always dealt the cards. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm trying to go, because just to stop playing games. But anyways, this isn't about me. In the end, take this rule, um, that just give it time, right? Whether a relationship, even a job, right? With time, your boss, when you first get a job, your boss is trying to convince you to come work for them, because they show you all the added benefits, right? Better pay. We got, I don't know, something stupid. We got snacks in the snack room. This is how we do it. But then later on, he just becomes, this tyrant, where it's like, wow, that slowly faded, and now you're just working for, a mean boss. But yeah, time reveals everybody's colors. But on to the next rule. So the fourth rule is create your own opportunities. Don't wait for them to come to you. Be smart. Mm. A lot of people get stuck in their head, right? What did Seneca say? That we suffer more in our imagination than in reality. We create these fake scenarios in our head, whether we're dating someone, or self just self development of what you think who you are. Go ask people. You are going to be. Uh, you think you know yourself until you ask people, and then they slowly reveal a few things. But in the end, you got to stay true to yourself. But anyways, yeah, create your own opportunities. Don't wait for them to come to you. Like I said, we live in our heads. We come in this fantasy world, and I'm guilty of it too, right? Since as I create things, I'm like, oh, it's gonna come. Don't worry. And just with time, you figure out that, oh man, it's on me. I have the football. I have to score the touchdown. So stuff like that, you just have to really let it digest and understand that this world moves when you move, right? When you make the move, and then let the rest just sort of, work out and figure itself out. But, anyways, create your own opportunities. Don't wait for them to come to you. Just be smart about it, right? Action leads to motivation. I explained in my other video. It's a lot of people think it's backwards. You need motivation to take action when it's action leads to more motivation, right? Anyways, we are going on rule number 5. Here we go. The secret to happiness is freedom. You must take action if you want freedom. Freedom is sort of everybody's own interpretation of what freedom is, right? Like if you want to just travel, no responsibilities, that's freedom to someone. Another person's freedom is a family man. He doesn't want to be all day at work and bust his butt. He wants to be home with his family. That's freedom to him. He wants to pick up his kids. He doesn't want money to control him. That's freedom. So you got to understand what freedom is, and what does it mean to you, right? Because freedom can mean a lot of things, but to be happy, it's not. You can't stay there forever. It's sort of a symptom of an action that you did. When you give to somebody, you become happy, right? That's how you get it. It's not, you can't go buy it at a store, but people get stuck in, I want to be happy. I just want to be happy. You are happy. The thing is, it's the pursuit of happiness that kills us. But I have another video on this. While we're never happy, and it's a good video, but you have to take action. You just want to be free. There's a few things that I did that I became more free because I was just tangled up in this net of just constantly being in the future and worrying about the future and having high anxiety and working. Hopefully, it all works out, and it never does the way you want it to. Um, but that diminishes your presence. That diminishes now, right? You don't want that. But to get freedom, sometimes people do freedom at all costs, right? What does that mean? That means they ruin their health, they ruin their relationships, and congratulations, you're miserable now. You have freedom. I've met poor people that are happy. I've met rich people that are happy. I've met poor people that are miserable, and I've met rich people that are miserable. So life is what you make of it, right? Let's just put it that way. But on our last and final rule, it says you will always have problems. This is the one. If you take away anything from this video, this is the one that you don't gain this knowledge until you have a few years under your belt. Um, Even when you're starting off, from middle school, high school, college, post college, you're becoming this grown up. But understand that you will always have problems. They're not going to go anywhere. You're always going to have bills. You're always going to have problems. You always going through stuff. Everyone goes through stuff. I'm still going through stuff, right? And I'm sure when I turn 80 or whatever age, I'm still going to be going through stuff. Um, it just never stops. But it's okay. Don't get discouraged. It's just how you deal with it, right? And then I emphasize this is you must learn to enjoy life. Mm, you must learn. You're gonna learn that problems are there always. You're never gonna be ahead of them or get rid of them. It's just how you deal with them, but don't let it diminish your life, right? Because life is precious and you don't get. Here's another rule, side, a la carte, if you want to put it, but time is the real currency, right? Once you figure this out, you don't care about chasing money or because it lies to you. It's more of a tool than anything. But anyways, let's stick to the rule here. So you must learn to enjoy life. It says, uh, don't let problems rob you of your life. So, like I was speaking, problems, they come and go. That's just how it is. Money, same thing, comes and goes, right? People want to hoard money and say, I'm going to save up, and then you might die the next day, or things happen in life that are just beyond your control sometimes. And, you know, the thing is, we have to sort of think of ourselves as just being in the moment. What if we don't get the next day? What if we don't get the last goodbye, right? Um, the Stoics that I listen to or I read, just they put death right in front of you because people look at death as this long way of, man, I'm going to live to 200 years and I'm going to be old. How do you know that? Right? How do you really know that? So all you can do is just worry about today, right? Worry about the present. Be with loved ones today, right? Yes, you're going to have problems. You're going to go through stuff. It's okay. You're going to figure it out somehow. You always have. That's just how it works. Doesn't mean to give up. That doesn't mean to, check out of life. It's just that's life, right? Once you understand that, you're like, oh, okay, I got it now. It's a roller coaster ride, right? Because there's going to be ups and there's going to be downs. So get used to the ride. That's pretty much what it is. Um, but you know, this last rule, and I'll read it again because I know I kind of broke it up. It's a pretty long rule, but there's beauty in everything, right? It's really on you. And it, if you want to look at your life miserable, then you will be miserable. Your mind won't lie to you. It will just, that's your goal, that you keep telling yourself that you hate life and you hate people, then boom, that's what you get. It's like a genie. But if you say, man, okay, so if I think the opposite, right? If I think life is great, air in my lungs, just the basic stuff that people will die to be in your situation, right? That's being grateful. And it creates humility. And with that, it just makes life bearable and okay. But it starts with you and your mindset. It all depends on mindset. And this is what this channel's about, right? Always thinking mindset because you're always thinking. I'm always thinking about life and how to just get better and um, stuff like that. But I'll reread the last rule, which is pretty strong. You will always have problems. You will always be going through stuff. You must learn to enjoy life. Don't let problems rob you of your life. There's beauty in everything. And there is, right? And it's kind of windy. But just an outro here is that, man, I've been doing just motivational speaking, words of encouragement for a while. I've always taught myself to just get better, 1% better every day. But yeah, these six hard truths, they will go a long way, right? Write it down. I wrote it down. But remind yourself that this is how life works, right? You're going to have ups, you're going to have downs, you're going to have great relationships, you're going to have shitty relationships. Excuse my language. But all I can say is that you keep going, right? There is light at the end of the tunnel. And when you're down, you never think you're going to come back up. And when you're up, you're like, wow, life doesn't get any better than this. And there is no need for you to be inside your head all the time, doubting yourself, right? Worried, and just picnic at the park with your mom or celebrating life with friends. Do it, right? And enjoy the moment. But I think people get confused between pleasure and happiness. Those are two different things. People think that life is just one big pleasure playground, right? That if you're not on a yacht celebrating life with champagne, lots of money in the bank, then you're unsuccessful. And no, that could be further from the truth. That's just an illusion that somebody, probably on YouTube, has taught you. But in the end, um, these six hard truths, they kind of keep you grounded, and don't let people lie to you. Don't ever let tell don't ever let someone else tell you who you are, right? Because that's what self-esteem is. You work on yourself, you get better every day, and then you gain confidence, right? By taking action, doing things, going to the gym, just little stuff, but it's little stuff that builds up over time. And this creates character, right? This creates character to how to attack life and just being ready for life, because it's the ones that don't do that, that let the world decide for them instead of their opinion and their amount of taking action into the world. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. This is one of these videos that I like talking. I like just getting perspective on life, and I wanted to share this with you. But if you're new to my channel, check it out. I got plenty of videos. Like, subscribe, share this video with anybody going through stuff, or just wanting to be a better person, or I don't know. I mean, to me, the way this world works is like, if you're seeing this video, it's for a reason. Um, and at the same time, it helps me because all the convictions that I've studied, the lives I lived, it just it just fortifies it. That makes sense. But thank you for watching. Like I said, like, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts, on this topic. What is a hard truth that you have that you'd like to share with the world? Or do you have any hard truths? I mean, some people just float through life. But until next time, we'll speak soon.